This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 119 of Horsemanship Radio, brought to you by Omega Fields, the world's best omega-3 supplements for horses. Horsemanship Radio is a part of the family of the Horse Radio Network, and today we have two producers of the horse industry for sure. This is Debbie Laux, and you're listening to the Horsemanship Radio. Thanks for joining us. Horsemanship Radio airs on the 1st and the 15th of the month, and I have my producer, Jen, with me again today. Hi, Jen.
Greetings! Are you all packed for WEG?
No, I'm not packed for WEG, but I'm so excited to go, though. I'm actually, there's all kinds of emails coming in, with all the bio stuff and all the titling stuff and all that now, and it's starting to feel real. And I can't wait to get there and see all these people are writing us and saying, hey, we're going to be there then too. And so
that's cool. So for people who have been living under a rock and don't know what WEG is, maybe we should give them the 3-minute WEG primer.
Oh my gosh, you're better at that than I am, but it stands for World Equestrian Games, and it only happens once every 4 years. Am I right?
That is correct.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, and we've done a Q&A on this, I think, before. But
I think WEG is where I first met you and Monty. WEG in 2010
oh my gosh, that's right.
In Lexington.
We did talk about that. That's right. It was in Lexington, Kentucky. It was my first WEG, actually, my last WEG. And you guys, Horse Radio Network, had us set up there, and I heard a lot of laughter coming from this booth that was across from where we were. We were in a booth for the Horse Radio Network, or Horse Racing TV, actually, is what it was.
Yes, we were right next to them.
And you were the Horse. Yeah, right across the way. And that was a lot of fun, and just so fun to have that arena full of so many horse lovers, and the parades and the whole, just it's a beautiful place. And I love Kentucky. Yeah.
So this WEG happening September 13th to the 23rd, right?
Okay, right. We will be there on 19 and 20 only. So September 19 and 20. We'll be coming from an event, and Dad's going on to tour. So
jumping in and jumping out.
Pretty much. So I'm gonna live fast on those 2 days.
We have to remind everybody many, many times of the dates he's going to be there. The 22nd and 23rd.
No.
See,
the 19th and 20th.
19th and 20th. So here's the scoop. World Equestrian Games is like the Olympics, except it's only equestrian sport. It works very similarly to the Olympics in that respect, but it's only horse sports. It's eventing and show jumping and dressage and vaulting and reining and combined driving and endurance. Those are the 7 sports. Those all happen between the 11th and the 23rd. It's in Tryon, North Carolina, which is a beautiful facility in the middle of North Carolina. There have been horror stories going along for months now about trying to find housing because it's a reasonably rural area. But yes, there is housing. Now that we've gotten down to the wire, people are starting to discount the stuff that's still available.
There we go.
Get online and check it out. All you have to do is put World Equestrian Games 2018 and you'll have 1,000 hits. So get your tickets. Tickets for the general admission, where you get to see Monty Roberts and do all the cool shopping and see other demonstrations, start at a mere schmear $20.
Yeah.
So it's
very low barrier to entry here.
Yes. It's a very good deal. There are still tickets available for competitions as well. So go online, use your favorite search engine, World Equestrian Games 2018, and make sure you have your tickets for which dates?
19 and 20 of September.
There we go. 19th and 20th of September. A few before and a few after, too, if you want to stay a little extra. I have been to one World Equestrian Games myself, and it is well worth the price of admission and then some.
And then some. Yeah, I'm excited to see all that shopping stuff. I think we're going to be in the middle of the day-ish, 1 noon, something like that. I'll have those dates up on our website on montyroberts.com as soon as we have the times nailed down. It's right there now is just, World Equestrian Games. But the fun thing is we're starting to narrow some of the topics we'll be doing. And one thing that we plan to do is have a Lisa Wallace's Mustang there to do a join-up with a veteran with post-traumatic stress. So just to get a little taster of our program that we do for veterans all year long. So come see that, and then some remedial issues and some obviously good horsemanship from Monty Roberts.
Very
exciting.
It'll be fun. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see it. So WEG 2018. This is only the second time in history that the World Equestrian Games has happened outside of Europe, because whoever wins certain things, it's determined by this long and lugubrious process of who gets to have the World Equestrian Games. And it was supposed to be in Canada this year, but Canada was not able to have it happen. They had some issues with funding the facilities because it cost an enormous amount of money to have a facility that can have all 7 disciplines in the same place.
As you can imagine.
Imagine. So crazy. The folks that own Tryon stepped up and said, "We'll do it. We'll blow the budget."
Mm-hmm. And this is where I've got to brag on the Bellissimos of stepping up. They did put up the money, and they, put a lot of reputation on the line too to get it done. It's an unbelievable.
It's been privately funded. It's not unlike Lexington, which was held at a park that is owned by the state. This is a privately owned facility, although they have been working extensively with the state as well as the county to make sure the infrastructure's there. Roads and signage and things like that getting set up. And everything I've heard from competitors who have all been going there for all the rehearsal events, all the smaller events so they can get familiar with the venue, say that the equestrian facilities for the horses and the riders are just top of the line. So that's kind of exciting too.
That is too. And the Brook, which is an animal welfare group, Brook USA, Dad's a global ambassador for the Brook, which does a lot of good in India and Egypt and places where the horses are really the livelihood. They're the tractor for people in those third world countries, brick kilns, you can imagine, hardworking equids. This is who is bringing us in to raise awareness for what the Brook does the world over.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah, it's a cool, that is worthy alone of just supporting the Brook. We're going to have a lot of fun too, though.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I can't wait to meet some of the other folks from the Brook, because I've chatted with them when we're doing shows and stuff, but I've not gotten to meet very many in person. So that's really exciting.
Oh, I'll introduce you because we're going to see each other, right?
That's right. We're going to be there for the whole thing. We're going to be there. We're not too sure how the broadcasts are going to pan out because we have to wait till we get to see the facilities, but I am going to be there as well as Glenn. And I think a couple of the other hosts are going to be making short trips up. They're not going to stay for the whole thing like we are.
I'm trying to get Jamie up there. I hope we can.
I think she'll enjoy it. She's never been to a WEG, and I think she'll get a kick out of it. It's kind of a special thing.
Yeah. So good. So hopefully see you all and come up. Make sure maybe we should do a meetup. Should we do a meetup?
Let's do brilliant.
A meetup. Yeah, we got to do a meetup.
We'll do a meetup. We'll make sure that gets up onto the Monty Roberts website and onto your Facebook page of when the meetup.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay.
Brilliant.
That's an idea. Okay. On to our guest today. We have some real famous people. One is famous here in the U.S. and the other one's famous in Hungary. How about that?
And we will get to our first famous guest, the one who's famous here in America, after we hear from a great American company, Omega Fields.
Your horse is your partner. In sport, in leisure, and just in life. To keep him at his peak performance and optimal health, a solid nutritional foundation is key. Ideally, horses are able to graze fresh, growing grasses, which most closely mimic their natural diet. But that may not always be possible, and we may need to supply some of those missing ingredients in today's diets and provide more functional foods. One component of a horse's diet that is often underfed are omega-3 fatty acids. While more prevalent in fresh forages, harvested forages are lower in omega-3 fatty acids due to their more advanced maturity. Obviously, grasses and legumes have to grow to a sufficient height in order to be harvested, while foraging patterns of horses show great preference for shorter, less mature plants. That's why modern horsemen and horsewomen trust Omega Horseshine to provide a powerful, bountiful source of omega-3 fatty acids for their equine partners. Look for Omega Horseshine from Omega Fields at your local tack and feed supplier, or you can find them online at omegafields.com.
Craig Cameron has had a lifetime of education learning from the greatest, most important teacher of them all, and that's the horse. From working on a family ranch as a child to riding bulls in the PRCA to becoming a world-renowned clinician and horse trainer, native Texan Craig Cameron has worked with thousands of horses, adding ample experience to his natural-born ability to communicate effectively with the horse and with people. Over the course of 3 decades working as a professional horseman, he has helped thousands of people build confidence and trust between themselves and their horse. And due to Craig's love for the horse and passion for helping others, he's been recognized with numerous honors and awards, like the Texas Cowboy Hall of Fame, the Heroes Hall of Fame, the 2010 Road to the Horse World Championship, Monty Roberts Equestrian of the Year Award, Culver Military Academy Hall of Fame, 2 Silver Telly Awards, to name a few. Craig is the creator and founder of the popular Extreme Cowboy Racing and the Guts and Glory 100-mile race for Special Operation Warrior Foundation. And he's the author of 2 Western Horseman books, and he happens to be a host of an award-winning RFD TV show called Ride Smart. Craig lives in Texas with his wife, Daleen, and son, Cole. Well, welcome, Craig Cameron. I finally get to have you on Horsemanship Radio. How are you doing?
Well, it's a pleasure to get a chance to visit with you guys. You're doing a great job, and excited about talking to you.
I'm glad to have you on, Craig. So where are you hailing from right now? You at home?
I just came in from Wyoming and the Calgary Stampede. I did a private clinic on a beautiful ranch in Saratoga, Wyoming, and then before that, we were at the Calgary Stampede doing the Extreme Cowboy Race, the Cowboy Up Challenge, which was just fabulous. You know, the Stampede does everything first class. So I've been up in that cool country, but I'm down in Texas today.
Oh, wilting a bit. I imagine you're a brave soul to go. You're near Fort Worth somewhere, I think. I'm southwest of Fort Worth, little town of Bluffdale, Texas, which is just outside the cowboy capital of Stephenville, Texas. So I'm in a good spot, but you're right. It's plenty hot here right now. We're calling you in July. It's a test, but people should go visit you out there. It's a beautiful part of the world when it's a little bit cooler. But Craig, I wanted to have you on today too, to people get to know a little bit about your horsemanship. You mentioned one little thing there that's a big mouthful because you've been doing this for a while, which is the wild horse race and some of the things, Guts and Glory rides you're famous for, and some of these things you've done over the years. You are an icon anymore in the Western genre. You run Ride Smart Horsemanship with Daleen, your wife. But what is it today that gets you out of bed and keeps you going besides having to turn the lights on?
Well, I guess I really just love the cowboy way of life. And if you're cowboying, you need good horses. So I'm definitely my enthusiasm and excitement and being a student of the horse is really a big deal to me. And, each and every day I go out there with the attitude that I say to myself, Craig, ride better today than you did yesterday. So really important to me to look at things from the horse's point of view, recognize his fears and limitations. It's all about trust and acceptance and all about respecting the horse. So the horse seeks the level of the rider. So again, the better I get, usually the better my horses get. And that's what really keeps me going right there.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And that's what we love about you. I've watched some of your videos and listened to you talk. You were chosen as Equestrian Award, I think, from Monty Roberts and a group of people of your peers. And to me, that validates everything. I wanted to know, I thought I would start off with a subject about choosing a horse. Saw some good video that you've put out, and you do a lot of assessing a horse long before you even got in the saddle, I noticed too. And I thought maybe you could give us some of those tips that I've heard you share with people that are looking at a horse to buy.
Well, you want to be honest with yourself about your level of horsemanship. But, when I go to pick a horse, what I recommend for people is, again, if they find a horse that they're interested in, find somebody reputable and trustworthy to buy it from, but maybe even show up unexpected. You be the one to go out there and catch that horse. I say some horse that I'm going to buy, he should be easy to catch. easy to halter. He should lead right up. He should go through the gates. Again, he should stand tied quietly. He should be able to pick up all 4 feet and set him back down. Stand quiet when you brush him, when you saddle him, when you cinch him up. He should be easy to bridle. He should stand still when you get on and get off. He should be able to walk, trot, and just canter right out, be able to open and close the gate on him, and then be able to load and unload from the trailer. And that would be just some of the basic things that I would look for in the very beginning if I was really looking for a horse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you're looking for a well-started horse. This horse is ready to just take a trail ride.
Well, again, a horse needs a great foundation. And, to make a great horse, when you buy a good horse from me, you're paying for my time, but so somebody does have to have done a good job. We need to give these horses a reason to trust us, understanding the nature of the horse, understanding the mechanics of the horse. Nobody comes in the world knowing how to ride a horse. This is something that you learn. It almost can't be taught. You need to learn it. And learning, again, takes time for the human and the horse. So, so much of the stuff that we call natural horsemanship, from my point of view, just because I say it, doesn't make it right or wrong, but a lot of this is not natural to the horse to accept something tied around him, up on his back, to carry steel in his mouth, to have a predator up on his back, to face his fear. So again, we're asking a lot of things to horse that are not natural. So it's the way we present it to him. In other words, we need to present things to him in a way he can understand, and then give him the time it takes for him to understand. And remember, each and every horse is going to be different. So again, my biggest advice would be to take your time, to go slow, don't get in a rush, don't get in a hurry, give them a chance to learn, and put those recesses in there, because that's when they're going to think and get quiet.
That's nice. Nicely said, too. Thank you. So you don't just pick them by eye color, huh?
Well, what do they say? Pretty is as pretty does.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And so, again, every day I go out there truly as a student of the horse. It's our job to adjust to fit the horse, the situation, and the circumstance. And remember, those circumstances change from moment to moment. We should be observing, remembering, comparing, adjusting, and applying. And again, working with these horses on a consistent basis and offering life up to them in a way they can understand. It's about time and patience, and to not judge, to keep it simple and take your time. And again, improve our timing so we can redirect the horse's mind. So again, training is nothing more than development through gradually increasing demands. So that's why I say take your time, give them a chance, and pretty soon if you offer it up right, I swear these horses, they will not let you down.
That's nice. Yeah. So do you ever have to backtrack with a horse? Do you find you got a horse?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For sure. I always say sometimes to take 2 steps forward, you got to take 1 step back. So, absolutely, and so I have a horse that people call a problem horse or something. People would say, where do you start? I tell them the beginning would be nice. So remember, every day is a new beginning. And if a horse doesn't have a good foundation, it's my job to give that to him and to check him out. And it's always the horse that's telling me where he's good, where he's bad, and where he needs the help. So I just keep listening to those horses.
Yeah, good for you. So yeah, we had some owners here this last week, and they brought in a couple of horses that were pretty green, at 3.5, 4 years old or so. But they'd been up on the mountains with them. They'd taken some rides with them and everything. And they just thought, I want to kind of have you assess. Well, one of them, we tried to pick up a back foot on, and they were kicking. And here's what we're finding is there's some holes in the training sometimes. And I'm thinking that you might agree with maybe some more groundwork needs to be done, or a better job assessing needs to be done sometimes before we're really sure that we want to put our 12-year-old up there.
Well, I wouldn't be putting a 12-year-old on some horse, that I wasn't really sure about.
Yeah.
So our job with a horse is to make that horse feel safe and sure and certain and secure. And we do that by the way that we handle him. It's not about going out there and just kicking them to go and pulling them to stop. There's a lot more involved there in horsemanship, so many different facets to it. It's physical, it's mental, it's emotional, it's mind, body, and spirit. And I'm trying to work with those horses on each and every level. And that's important to me. A horse not being able to pick up its back foot, there could be a lot of different reasons for that. Mm-hmm. I've seen a horse actually hold his breath when somebody would pick up, say, a back foot. And about the time he couldn't hold his breath anymore, he jerks that foot away. It could be something that simple. But you start out with something simple. Just pet foot up, hold it for a moment, put it back down. You don't drop it, you set it down. In everything we do, we must work with respect. And we have to remember, to get respect, we have to give respect. So again, I look at those horses and they look at me and they say to me, hey, my life is just as important to me as yours is to you. So the way that I handle that horse makes a big difference. And we must remember that discipline is an art form. The way you discipline a horse, I don't punish any horses. I just use that old Tom Dorrance and Ray Hunt philosophy of making the wrong thing difficult and the right thing easy. And pretty soon, those horses, if you offer it up, they're going to take that right trail. And so again, the door's closed here, it's open here. It's easy to go through here, it's more difficult to go through there. If you wait on that horse, if you fix it up and wait, I guarantee you he'll find it. And then, like I said before, he won't let you down.
They're super generous, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're just incredible. These horses never cease to amaze me. So, but we need to be sympathetic to their needs. And again, if we would just set things up, the horse will find it. We need to be more selfless, more present, more compassionate. Use focus, concentration, and more than anything else, anticipation. We need to kind of feel what that horse is going to do before he does it, so that we can let that happen or not let that happen. Because if we wait until he already does it, then we're too late. So again, that's reading that horse through a feel, like I'm going to repeat again, physically, mentally, and emotionally. The guy has to be aware of those things on all three levels. So there's a lot to think about. That's why I always say horsemanship is a thinking man's game.
Yeah, that's good too. Thank you for putting a plug in the radio show too. But did you just grow up in the saddle, Craig?
Well, I was lucky because my family, we always had ranches in my family. And as a kid, that's really all I wanted to do. I grew up around those old-time cowboys, but, a lot of those guys were kind of rough with the horses. And even as a little guy, I never did like that too much. So I always knew there was a better way. And again, I was lucky enough to meet Ray Hunt and Tom Dorrance, who really taught me the philosophy of working with the horse and not against the horse. And after that, it's about working on yourself. People get out there and they just want to work on these horses. But, if we would work more on ourselves, our feel, our timing, our rhythm, our tempo, our balance, our patience, our consistency, our understanding, if we would work on ourselves, because truly, when we get good, just like that, the horse gets good. And there's a lot of truth in that.
Yeah, you're so good. You're a good thinker too. Do you keep learning? Are you still learning?
Well, that's what I say. I go up there every day as a student of the horse. Absolutely. Learning every day. It seems like the more that I learn, the more that I realize I need to learn. Horsemanship is an unending endeavor, unending. And there's just so much that, that, again, the one door just opens about 100 more. So, as a student of the horse, I go out there with that good attitude. I think it's important that you walk out there with a good attitude and a good feel. Tom Dorrance used to say, work from the inside of you to the inside of the horse. I think about that a lot these days. And so again, that emotional side, emotion, the things that move you, happy, sad, troubled, bothered, sure, unsure. The horse is exactly the same. So I go out there with that good feel, that mental connection, that spiritual connection, that even the physical connection. I'm working on all three levels, and again, I really got that going for me, and I think those horses pick up on it quite a bit. And I think when you start working that way, these horses, they kind of know. The old saying is, the horse knows when you know, and he knows when you don't know. There's a lot of truth in that. So
that's true.
So there's a lot to be aware of out there.
Yeah, yeah, I know, and the health of the horse is always at your epicenter too. So, tell us a little bit about your business too. How do people find out about you? What do you do for people and their horses, and what can people avail themselves to?
Well, we're working here. We're here at the Double Horn Ranch. We feel like we got probably one of the best and prettiest facilities in the business today. We just keep growing. We've expanded, bought another ranch next door to us. So we're always adding what we call our challenge trails and new obstacle courses. You come to the ranch, we try to cover everything. We do what I call the Craig Cameron cross training. So we do groundwork, we do arena work, we do trail work, we do obstacle work, we do cattle work. We just mix it up a little bit. We have question and answer sessions. So, it's just a blast. So the media call our clinic the ridingest clinic of them all. So people get a chance to really come here and learn and work in a great atmosphere. And, from the time these people show up here, I'm with them the whole time. And, it really is a great learning opportunity. So, we're right here near Stephenville, Texas, but, just got a lot of things going on. Plus, I'm out on the road and teaching clinics out on the road and really worldwide. So, just got it all rolling. And then, we talked about my extreme cowboy race, which, has grown worldwide. We have clubs now all over the world, in Europe and in Australia and New Zealand and Canada. And our world finals will be coming up here in Glen Rose, Texas, in the first week of November. And so the best riders in the world will be down there competing. And so people want to come and watch that. That's really amazing. They call extreme cowboy racing the fastest growing sport in the equine industry today. So, it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And you started that. How long has that been going on now?
Oh gosh, we've probably been doing that close to 15 years now.
Oh,
but,
my gosh.
Yeah, it's really fun. And, we did that, like I say, up at the Stampede. That's a $30,000 event up there to the winners. And, so it's really going great. So, we just got so much going on. But, it all revolves around horses, horsemanship, cowboying, and, the traditional cowboy way of life. So we're just trying to keep that happening every day and stay on top of that and just keep that going for people and for horses everywhere.
It's fun. And Craig Cameron, thank you for stopping by and sharing that little bit of fun with us too. People should go on what's your website? What is it?
It's just you can go to ridesmart.com or craigcameron.com and look us up. And, we have a club as well where people can go to, and we have live things once a week, and that's called the Ride Smart Club, and that's a lot of fun too. People get to send in their questions, so we're just kind of trying to hit on all the cylinders over here. And,
you are, man. I want to know what you're drinking. You must have caffeine know it.
Well, we've been lucky too, and so all the different things we've done, and places we've gone, the people we meet, and and the competitions like at Road to the Horse, getting to win that, in 2010, and we've written 2 great books with Western Horseman magazine. So, we're just trying to keep it all going. But, really, the bottom line is trying to do the best we can for the horses and that type of stuff, and for the people that ride them. So, but listen, it's been a lot of fun and a real pleasure getting a chance to talk with you guys. And anytime you want to visit again, just give me a call and we'll do it again.
Love to make it a family thing. We'll get a few more of you on here and get Dad on here with you too. Be fun. Say hi to Daleen for me and to Cole, and hope your family stays safe.
Hey, thanks a bunch. You guys keep running like a champion, and I'll see you next time.
See you down the road.
Hi, Carol Herder here, president of Cavallo, home of the world's most trusted and popular hoof boots. One of the most interesting parts of what I do is the many horsey stories I get to hear. Most of them are really uplifting. Some are stories of challenges, and a few are downright sad. Recently, a wonderful woman took the time to approach us at a show to share a story about her horse who went down in quicksand. It started out as a really scary story. We were holding our breaths, waiting for the outcome, and it turned out wonderful. They winched the horse out relatively unscathed, albeit, a little traumatized, and everyone standing around were super amazed that he still had his Cavallo hoof boots on. Scary story with a good ending. Another testament to Cavallo. If you don't have a pair for your horse, it's time. Cavallos are easy to put on, easy to take off when you want to take them off, and they stay on. They stay on in all terrain. Cavallo, the world's most trusted hoof boots.
Kata Pataky was born in 1977 in Budapest, Hungary. A swimmer as a child, eventually swimming professionally, Kata has won 5-time Hungarian championships before retiring in 1997 at just 20 years old. And she bought her first horse in 1996 then. And in 2008, her boyfriend, whom she later married, suggested that she should learn from the best, Monty Roberts' method. She took her first clinic in England and vowed to become the first Hungarian Monty Roberts instructor, which she then accomplished in 2010. She credits Monty's international recognition for her ability to have now taught over 400 students, and she's often being asked now to demonstrate her talents in front of large audiences. Well, welcome, Kata Pataky. It's exciting to have you on Horsemanship Radio with such great news, and you're calling, are you in the Budapest area right now?
Yes, I am.
Oh, wonderful to hear from you again. I know we've had you on Horsemanship Radio, but this is a completely different effort that you're putting together, and I'm real excited to share with the owners. But before we get into kind of the why of what we're going to talk about today, it's for those people who may have not heard other interviews with you. Tell us a little bit about your horsey background and how you ended up becoming a Monty Roberts instructor.
Okay, thank you. So hello, everybody. I'm from Hungary, and my background is a little bit special. Maybe I was a professional swimmer. I started when I was 4-year-old, but also my dad introduced me to horses when I was 5. And these two things, it's been going parallel in the same time all the time. So I was in a water, and then when I have a little spare time, I went and got some horse riding lessons. So that I was quite busy. And then when I did my graduation in high school, I've got a 2-year-old horse from my parents, which was a very interesting case at that time. So by this time in the moment, I know a lot about horses, or more about horses than before. So I think it wasn't the best choice. But this horse, she was living with me for 13 years. And I learned a lot from her. So I did my studies in high school, and it was nothing about horses. And I ended up working in a media in Hungary, a couple of radio stations and TV stations. But in the same time, I had my horse, and I had a lot of things going around in my head that I would like to change my life. And I read Monty's book back in 1996 in English. And I just got this idea someday, I don't know how, but back in 2005 maybe. So it just came back in my mind, and I told to my family that I just would like to learn Monty's method, and I would like to change something in my life, because I would like to do something valuable in my life and as a profession, really what I believe in. And that's how I ended up first in Kelly Marks in England, because I just couldn't travel a lot this time. I had a normal job in an office. But then I just did my intro exam and advanced course at Flag Is Up Farms. And then I just decided, okay, I just need to become a Monty Roberts instructor. And my dreams came true.
No, so you worked hard. Yeah. Your dreams did come true with a lot of sweat and rolled up sleeves in between, a lot of wet saddle blankets. So
yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, we're really fortunate and blessed that you did, and it's been you've been a great influence on that part of the world, not just Hungary, but Eastern Europe too. There are quite a few instructors over there now who all call you their instructor, and so you've actually helped grow the concepts a lot, which I think all horses should appreciate. And I know all of us definitely appreciate that you've opened up that world. Hungary, we've had a few people through here besides like Lajos Kásai. We've had a few people here that have talked about the philosophy in Hungary. It's a very horse-centric country and part of the world, which is fascinating, I think, and that you're very true to the horse tradition there. Not traditional horse breaking so much, but lots of different disciplines in horses. And do you feel like you're making a difference there? Do you feel like you're changing anything, or is it just a part of becoming a better horseman there?
No, I think definitely, because I just met a very famous show jumper in Hungary a couple of years ago. He just heard something about me and he called me, and I just helped him with a horse who just didn't want to go forward anymore. And that was a great success. And that was, I think, 2 years ago. And a lot of really, really good show jumpers and sport horsemen calling me, and I help them a lot. And I also having a lot of youngsters to start, because they just realize that it's much easier for them also.
Yes.
So it's spreading quite a lot, and I love my job because I have a lot of remedial horses as well, and a lot of youngsters, and I think we are just getting there, and it's changing. I believe in that.
I'm so glad to hear that. Well, when we heard Monty Roberts was approached about this show, master demonstration at the Budapest Horse Show, we were intrigued. It's not his usual live demonstration. It's way out of the box, actually, entirely for what he normally does. But because it involved some really famous other horsemen, and it sounded like such a cool thing that was being put together. And it was at the end of a long tour for him. And he thought, well, another week in Europe. So he literally leaves right after the middle of September, right after a horse sense and healing clinic that wraps up on the 16th. He heads to WEG, World Equestrian Games, in Tryon, North Carolina. And then he pops over to England and begins to train for the Queen and then go on tour. But he literally will wrap up his tour on December 1st and 2nd in Budapest at the Budapest Horse Show. So that's a long trip. But I think he's probably as excited about the end of the trip as he is the trip. So I'm excited for you to describe a little bit about what they approached us with, and then what are the preparations now that are going into building that dream.
Oh, yes, this is really, really different than a usual, I mean, not usual, but you know how I mean usual Monty Roberts shows generally. So the whole horse show called the Horse Whisperers. And they also invited Lorenzo and Jean-Francois Pignon, and they will be in the same show with Monty. And I think it's really, really exciting because it never happened before, as far as I know.
No.
And also this whole show and especially Monty's part is about a young disabled rider or a young disabled little boy who is 15-year-old and whose dream is to ride with Monty. And this is
done like in a dreamlike state in the middle of an arena, right? With the lights down, like a story. Yeah,
exactly. It's going to be a whole story. And his dream is, just be on a horse and ride next to Monty. But of course, because he is a disabled rider, we somehow have to get him on a horse. And this will be a part that the horse has to lay down in a queue, which will be given by Monty, definitely. Mm. And also he has to mount somehow to the on the horse's back, and a horse will get off again and they will ride.
Right.
So this is roughly the storyline, but it's going to be much more. And also Monty will ride another horse, a quarter horse. It's not, a normal reining show or something, but this is also the part of the story. And the boy is a really disabled boy, so we are not just acting like, he would be one. And he's also having horse riding lessons. I think he's been doing it for 2 years now. He's not able to move his legs. He was born like that, and he's living in a wheelchair. He is a very, very nice young boy, and he speaks English, and he's very, very exciting to to just get to know Monty and be in the same show. So I think his dream will come true as well.
So it's kind of like a story turning real. So tell us a little bit about how you chose the horse. So you're really Dad's left arm and right arm in putting this together from a distance like this, which is a lot of responsibility. So you know that somebody else has been auditioning, I guess you'd call it, the boy. But how did you choose the horses for this?
We choose the horses I have a very good friend and we are really close friends and we work together a lot. And she is training horses for movies. And all of the 3 horses were in this arena because it's a very special event for a horse. Somehow, sometimes they will have foreshadows because of the lights, approximately 10,000 people in the arena. So a lot of people, music, clapping. And I think we need some horses who's been there and who can do, a lot of things in these kind of circumstances. So it's not the best thing if we could choose a horse who's never been there.
Yeah.
So we have 3 horses, 2 Frisian and 1 Lipizzaner, and they're beautiful horses. And they all been there a couple of times in different shows. So we will choose a horse which suits best for the kid, for the little boy. So we have to, just try a couple of times how they can communicate with each other, which horse listens him the best way. And we also have to try it in different places, different arenas, during music, with loud noises. So we have to really, really try everything we can, or everything we are able to do. And also I will be the first, we tried already how they are react on a wheelchair. So I found a wheelchair and we getting, a little work with the horses, how they feel, how they react when I approach them with a wheelchair while they are lying down. And this is very, very interesting. But all of the 3 horses are really good in this. But still, they are horses. So we hope the best.
That's right.
We
That's
hope
right.
the best.
That's right. It's always on the day, but I'm glad you're well prepared. And these horses have been trained by someone who is kind to horses?
Yes, of course. She's a really, how can I explain that in the best way? She's really good with her horses. She's always, when they are shooting movies, she's always with her horses, and she's not training them lying down in a traditional way. She's doing a lot of flexing work, like a human being do yoga, because for to do these kind of exercises, horses needs to be really strong and flexible in the same time. So she's teaching them to lying down how exactly the same way how they are lying down themselves in a nature. So the front feet is in one place, and the hind feet are getting closer and closer and closer. So the horses are stepping towards the front feet, and then they can lay down in a quite natural way.
Oh, I love that.
So it's very, very nice, and that's how they've been taught by my friend, and she's very nice with horses, and she's a very good rider also. So I hope everything will be good.
I bet you do. I bet you will sleep for a week after the show.
I think so. And also, I'm sorry, just another thing, because today the organizer told us that you should have a second rider if something is wrong with a kid or if he's got sick. So I think this is going to be very interesting, because then we have to train 2 boys for this, 3 horses, or maybe 4 horses as well. But we will see. We will do our best, and I think it will be a very, very unique show.
And what do you know what Lorenzo and Frederick Pignon will do for the show as well?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I think Lorenzo will do the jumping when he's standing on horses, and then while he's standing on horses, he's jumping. And I think Pignon will do his liberty training, but I don't really know exactly.
They'll probably keep that under their hat. So sorry, we can't let people in on that one. But we at least gave you a little peek of what's going to happen on December 1st and 2nd with Monty there. So we'll watch the calendar. We don't have an active link to that yet, but if people are interested in a wonderful way to go to see Budapest during like the Christmas holiday season and meet Kata and meet Monty, I think it's a great plan. So hopefully people will put that in their calendar and maybe make it. It is. And we will also shoot some videos about the preparations and the practice. So I will share them with you once we have them, and we keep you informed. Thank you. Well, people have to watch for that on the social medias then. So we've got the Facebook with Monty and Kata's Facebook, and we'll share back and forth. And are you involving any other certified instructors in all this? Are you shouldering this all on your own?
Not really, because it's two of us. But yes, we will involve, I will invite all of the Hungarian instructors, but for the preparation work, I will invite them. And if they have time, of course, they will come and just share ideas. It's always good. So I already called them and we had a chat about this. So when I will have the exact dates, I will invite them and just having fun together.
Like always. Yes, you do. I know it was so nice to see most of you guys in Vienna last year at the Spanish Riding School. That was a lot of fun. And and it's always good to see you all together. You're all brilliant and such good horsemen, and just enjoy having you on as often as we can get you, Kata. And thank you for your time today.
Monty Roberts is proud to partner with the Right Horse Initiative, which seeks to help horses in transition by massively increasing horse adoption in the United States. The Right Horse understands that most horses will have multiple owners during their lifetime. Often, these horses find themselves in transition due to no fault of their own and can move into a second or third career with the right adopter. Adoption can be a great option when you're looking for a new horse. To help you find your perfect right horse, the Right Horse Initiative developed an innovative new website for adoptable horses called My Right Horse. On myrightsthorse.org, you can search hundreds of available horses by breed, discipline, age, and location. It's simple, user-friendly, and of course, mobile-friendly too. With a wide range of adoptable horses from all over the country, myrightsthorse.org can help you find the horse of your dreams. Visit myrightsthorse.org to find your next horse through adoption.
Whisper the language of the herd. Listen, you don't have to say a word.
It's time for Jamie Jennings to fetch an email from Monty Roberts' inbox and share a morsel of Monty's wisdom in a little segment we like to call Ask Monty.
Leave this world a better place than mine. The magic in the
Dear Monty, why do some people faint when they see Join Up for the first time? Monty's answer. This is an interesting phenomenon that I had very little knowledge of prior to the mid-1980s when I began to do public demonstrations. I remember clearly the first time it happened. It was on Flag Is Up Farms. We called an ambulance, stopped after the demonstration, and declared a 1-hour recess while they took the lady off for emergency room analysis. There was a lunch after, and the lady returned with her husband to give us a report on her condition. She first told us that she was 5 months pregnant, which heightened our anxiety all the more. She then reported that the doctors had diagnosed her with hypooxygenation, which means she had held her breath, starving her brain of oxygen until she slipped into an unconscious state. When asked why she held her breath, she told us she didn't realize she was doing it. She went on to tell us that she had been abused as a child, saying that she felt she had transposed herself to the position of the horse. She said she believed she was thinking how wonderful it would have been to be treated the way the horse was, instead of how she actually had been. Since this first fainting, there have been dozens more. We have had many other medical opinions, most of which have come from attending physicians, as we have never resorted to calling ambulances after the first occasion. These people are generally unconscious for less than a minute or two and often remember most of the circumstances surrounding the event. How well I remember one night here at Flag is Up Farms. I was doing a demonstration for Ford Motor Company UK as part of a conference for Ford executives and their spouses. 5 ladies fainted in one demonstration. That stands as a record to this day. Each one fainted within the same 1-minute period. It was directly related to a good join-up with the formerly abused horse. After the demonstration, I had a conversation with each of the ladies. All had been physically abused at some time in their past. Each of them remembered pretty much everything leading up to their fainting. All of them returned to the round pen within 5 minutes or so and were comfortable watching the rest of the demonstration while being attended to by people on my staff. Abused horses tend to bring out this phenomenon more than any one factor. It is a fact that all but one of the fainters have been female. It is also further true that about 90% said they had been abused in their past. Further evidence would suggest that they became transfixed on the procedure they were watching and simply forgot to breathe. Fortunately, we have never had an injury in the course of these episodes, and I hope it remains that way.
For more of these insights into good horsemanship, go to www.montyroberts.com and click on the orange banner that says Get Free Horse Tips.
Hi, I'm Monty Roberts, and I'm dedicated to training horses without pain. You can learn to do it too on my Equus Online University. Western, English, the beginner, or the advanced rider. It doesn't matter. You can connect with other students online too, on our forum, and there's a new lesson every week. It's a lifetime of learning for you on my Equus Online University at montyroberts.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Where in the world is Monty Roberts?
Monty is looking forward to meeting some new friends, two-legged and four-legged, September 1920. Hey, that World Equestrian Games in Tryon, North Carolina. Yeah. And then October 6th, he heads to Collingham, UK, and he starts his fall tour. There's only 2 dates in there, so make sure you pick one. And then October 19th, he's at Hartpury in the UK. And then he skips over to Germany, and he's there on his 15th anniversary trip to Germany on tour. And it's October 25 in one date. That's in Thyrnau. I'll say it wrong. October 27th, he will be in Ulstadt. He's been there before. Looking forward to that. And then October 31, I don't know if there's Halloween in Germany or not, but he will be in Schuselfeld, Germany. Just go find this on the website. You'll pronounce it much better than me. And then November 2nd, he's in Fulda, Germany. And November 10, he's in Nubelak, Germany. And then he skips over to Budapest, Hungary. We'll be talking a little bit about that in the near future. That's December 1 and 2. He has a join-up master demonstration at the Budapest Horse Show in Hungary with the likes of Pignon and some greats there. And then long-term out there, February 2019 on the 15th through the 17th, 3 days. That's President's Day weekend. We'll have an equine facility management clinic back in California at Flag is Up Farms.
Woohoo! And if you didn't commit all of that to memory, you can find it all at montyroberts.com and more. Or you can give Flag is Up Farms a call. The phone number is 805-688-6288, which you can also find on the website if you want to go to the website and then make a phone call. There you go. For details about today's show, you want to go to horsemanshipradio.com and you'll find links and pictures and information about today's guests and topics. And we love your feedback. Great way to do that. Follow Monty on Facebook. Go to Facebook, type in Monty Roberts, and then click on the like and or follow button on the one that has that little blue check mark, because that's the official Monty Roberts Facebook page. You can also follow Monty on Twitter. His handle is Monty_Roberts. And if you haven't done so already, grab the app for your iPhone or your Android so that you can listen to the shows anywhere, anytime. Go to your app store and search Horse Radio Network. If you're tech savvy and have already taken care of that, find some not so tech savvy friends of yours and help them do the same.
That's right. And, I had somebody come up to me one time just a couple weeks ago and said, hey, I have the app on my phone and I listen to Horsemanship Radio, but all of a sudden the episodes that I had checked on there, everything is gone. Oh, no. And I went, that's funny. And I had to play around with it. And I'm not a techie, but we went, you know what? Let's just delete the app off of her phone and put it back on. And everything was restored and perfect again. So if you ever have any struggles with it, try the on-off button
there you go.
for a second, and it may just work. There's my geek tech tip of the day.
That's actually a really good tip, because most geeks, they say, do the simple stuff first. Reboot your phone or reinstall the app. Great advice.
Exactly. So if you have any corruption, there you go, uncorrupted. And many thanks to our sponsors, too, Omega Fields, Cavallo, Horse and Rider, and MontyRobertsUniversity.com. Be sure to visit all the other great shows on the Horse Radio Network, too, at www.horseradionetwork.com. Until next time, have many happy horse hours.